even though you lose a lot of that early game pressure with a lot of the nerfs towards her ultimate and her first skill with the stun being removed, it still is very good into the late game. Once you get those item power spikes, once you get those into the mid game at least, is when you really get going, right? So you're not it's just a little adjustment that you guys need to make on the 1-1, and I feel like Bangladesh have solidified a pretty solid composition, and it is going to be Blaze on the Minotaur roam, so no flex on that pick right now. The glue against a Terizla is definitely a pretty hard matchup, especially considering that Big Black Clock here is in the XP lane, just continuously putting some pressure down, but Bangladesh are doing a pretty good job as well up in the gold lane, doing the same thing. Yahiko gonna get chunked quite a bit. You gotta respect the Wanwan, man. She's not the lane bully she was, but she will still be able to dish out a lot of damage if she gets that first skill down.
Yeah, plus not forgetting the weakness point to the side of Yahiko. So look at that one, actually exchanging damage to one another, but the rotation that is being made to proceed to the XP lane coming from the side of Nepal, they're just trying to give the pressure, but in the top lane, Yahiko.
Whoa, a dive attempt already. Execution still waiting. Execution still waiting. Not popping the Inspire, actually saving it, and this is going to be really well played. They baited out a whole lot, and they're going to be able to crash in this wave to deny even more gold, all the while not really losing anything on the map aside from that turret gold in the mid lane. Definitely more worth it to shut the gold laner down in the early stage of the game. With K7 able to rotate down into the mid lane, it's just a quarter of it being chunked, and guess what? It's only onto the utility jungler and the mid laner who's not really going to be able to fully punish.
1 point to the side of 1-1 and even taking down Cloud. It's going to be slowing the tempo of the progress here from the Cloud side. Despite that, it's going to be catch up real soon with the Blazing Duet that can be provided after level 4, but the progress right now might lead Bangladesh to something else. But the thing is, the gold differences, it's not too far, but somehow Nepal still lead the gold. They're still having a better in terms of taking the farm here. The rotation that is being made right now to the turtle might have quite a big war right now, Miracle.
Weather airstrike as well as a split mount already, but the wild charge is there to respond it through. Surge able to flicker out of the penalty zone right now as the Thorn Rose will be popped in. Now it's Lunatic who's caught in a bad situation, brought back. Xenox with the black shoes now kiting away. Blaze going to have to respect them right now as both teams disengage, but Mr. Ray is in a better position to actually look for the turtle, even able to invade for now. Puts and delegates the Lord or the turtle take towards Surge for now. They dish out a little bit more damage. Both junglers still having the retribution. Blaze trying to clear out that mid lane, but will be chunked quite low by Xenox once again. Xerox. Now it's going to be the Minion Fury onto the back line, and it's Lunatic Panda who secures the retribution now. It's an all-out brawl, and Bangladesh will be able to secure 1 kill on the board. Lunatic Panda with a few more dashes in his kit. Bangladesh leads with the kills, but will lose out in that objective battle.
Oh, the objective battle, it's quite a long war right there. They're just like trying to focus to get over the turtle. They're trying to find a way to actually got it without any undisciplined movement. But the thing is, after one big CC and also the AoE from coming from the side of Bangladesh, it's just gonna be pretty hard for Nepal to come back from that kind of situation. They really need to focus on to dive in even to the back line of Team Bangladesh, especially for the K7 along with execution here. But the front liner also like pretty scary, despite that this Minotaur actually quite easy to be pulled to the side from the side of Nepal, but another movement coming to the top lane. They try to push back this Cloud to not having a proper farm. They're trying to not giving them time to try to be in the prime time to try to initiate Bangladesh. They're preventing all of the unnecessary move here from Nepal to try to dive in, to try to initiate towards Bangladesh. And the thing is, the gold so far is actually still very okay coming from both of the sides. They're still trying to catch up with the differences and everything. But the Farsha with the Purify, this is one of the things that I want to really see here. I really noticed that with the Purify that only for the penalty zone, I don't think like it's really worth it.
The penalty zone is definitely a way to look for these catches, right? Because right now, if we take a look at Bangladesh, they're not really threatened by the penalty zone for now. They have the proper amount of Purify. The 1-1 has a built-in Purify. And for the rest of the members, they have anti-CC, like Mr. Ray, definitely on the Martis with the Mortal Coil. So that CC threat that Nepal has is definitely not as big as Bangladesh's threat right now with Blaze. Jumping in onto Big Black Claw, looking for an opening right now. Jumps in with a wild charge, chains it perfectly for Lancelot to pick up the Lord for free. K7 now forced to run away, has the Purify, and will hold on to it right there as Masarap doesn't go for the Flicker penalty zone. They're just going to be able to siege down onto the mid lane right now, but watch out. Masarap is waiting for it, looking for a moment to just flicker in. That's the puncture onto K7, putting some pressure down, but we'll just utilize that to zone K7 away to get some puncture stacks ongoing and to Retri to take the orange buff away.
They're still collecting the orange buff here. And also, like, we can see that actually if you are not really prepared, and it's easier to go closer to the base. And after getting that one, your map control, especially towards the purple buff to the opponent, or maybe even towards the turtle or lord, gonna be so much better on your side because you're having more control over the map. And right now, Nepal having the lead over that one, and plus the 2000 gold lead actually looking so good for them. If they are able to initiate more, trying to put Bangladesh in a very hard situation and maybe even like wasting their resources is going to be really good.
Whoa, not too sure what's going on there. It's the wild charge and a penalty zone completely whipping. The Minute Fury going to be able to lock them down right now, but Yahiko gets the blazing duet, full duration onto the members from Bangladesh. Surge now mounting Masarap, bringing him back and getting the kill down. Just one more weakness point to pop in that crossbow tang, but execution will not be able to execute Mr. Lunatic Panda on this Lancelot. Still, it's Nepal who is holding on to the lead despite losing in that skirmish.
Yeah, they're getting one jungler in exchange of the EXP. I think like it's still gonna be super worth it for the side of Nepal. And they're the one who actually initiate on the top lane. They try to push it back towards Bangladesh with the penalty zone along with the wild charge. And I think right now Bangladesh trying to redeem that one by taking one turret. But on the other hand, we see Nepal, they're just like being so disciplined to take another objective. They're exchanging it with the turret and even will try to maybe push into the bottom lane with the presence of the Lilia along with the Lancelot. And they got it. It's still a benefit to Nepal in this kind of situation.
Vela, it seems like we're watching a very similar game as we watched earlier. Now, Big Black Clock with the wild charge, able to pop in that Purify, but with black shoes will not be able to survive there. Survives through it all despite getting engaged on. And I was about to say, Paul played an amazing team fight, went on to K7, but Bangladesh were able to win out of the skirmish. So back to my point, man, it's like the game we watched earlier, Vela, where, you know, Cambodia were the aggressors, Nepal are like the Philippines, who are very objective, and they need to stop and, you know, a chill pill when it comes to engaging on these team fights, because it feels like whenever they engage, it's 50-50. Either they win or they lose very hard.
Yeah, it's either win or lose. And the mirroring that keep happening coming from the side of Nepal is just like super crazy. And right now in the bottom lane, I don't think like Masarap will be able to survive from protecting over the turret here. It's gonna be like super big resources that is being used by Bangladesh to trying to secure that one. But the thing is, if Bangladesh keep doing this, keep sticking together to get the objective gains that they are expecting, and with that kind of positioning, it's actually going to be a very good one for them. We can see from the replay that actually the Black Shoes is being used too early, in my opinion, and the one that want to take off the K7 is just like diving too deep. There is no other follow-up. There is no other protection that they can do from the situation that happened just now. So yeah, right now, it's going to be super important who is actually going to be taking the Lord. Because so far, Nepal keep getting that objective. will Bangladesh try to steal that from Nepal now?
The later game goes, obviously, Bangladesh will have a little bit more to say, right? Because this Minotaur will actually have more space to make. Considering that Nepal don't even have a Purify, it's definitely going to help them out, right? Opening up that side of the bush with the Mortal Coil, utilizing that anti-CC. Surge doing the same thing there with the slam. Mid lane going to be pushed in by Nepal as they look for more space, more pressure to play with. Yahiko will respect Blaze right now, just jumping back and forth, trying to bait in that Minuan Fury. But for both of the teams, they do not want to fully commit just yet. Bangladesh, once again, looking for this space. But both teams, again, feels like they're just very hesitant to go for a team fight because it hasn't worked for them when they engage.
Yeah. They really want to take this one, but they want to take it under control. They don't want to overdo it. They don't want to try to initiate it not in the good terms, but look at that one. Actually, execution, trying to put it that way, but the big back block here. He is trying to give the information and might be having a very good working with Mr. A jumping and Miracle.
Okay, good chunk of damage there. A lot of poke feather airstrike being popped down. Only onto the frontliners though. Only Masarap and Big Black Clock gets the damage done. It practically just tickles them right now. They are still going to be able to sustain all the way back up. Xerox still has the black shoes as well. Mid lane trying to be micromanaged here. When we take a look at the jungle, it does seem like Lunatic Panda has a one level lead. Certainly going to be able to utilize that to pressure the Lord even more with the take. Bangladesh not able to really find their footing in this game despite having a better teamfight comp.
They're wasting 2 minutes to just like focus on the Lord. They are not even trying to control the minion. Look at that one. 2 big minion waves in the whole fleet that might take the outer turret if no one's actually going for it. And it's just like they keep doing what is Bangladesh doing. They want to pressure towards the Lord. They really want to steal that one. They are desperate for it. And even Federal Strike is being popped right now. One of their big resources. And I don't think they will try to go for more here, Miracle.
Uh-oh, Masarap with a penalty zone onto 2 with a flicker combo, and it's wild charge from Mr. Big Black Clock. It's double kill picked up now, looking for more. Blaze and Surge both forced to flicker out, but Yahiko is on the chase. Surge running for the hills now, going under the tier 2 to get to safety. And Nepal, when they pull the trigger to go for that big fight now, in a position where they can actually take the dub, it works for them. As long as they do it in a position where it's good.
That's the case. That's why I was like, after the Farsha's Federal Strike being used, it's not going to be looking good for Bangladesh. They are doing it without any kind of resource of damage coming from the side of Bangladesh, and that penalty zone that is being followed up by the Rock, by the Lunatic, by everyone coming from the side of Nepal, the one that's taking everyone down from Bangladesh is being melted down so fast, and now the Lord is marching to the bottom lane of Team Bangladesh. No, Nepal is just like taking it back on their control. They are winning another objective. The patience is being paid off really well here with all of the damage and even the second one in top lane.
Oh, 3-man Minion Fury by Blaze. Just buying some time, acting as a cover tool, but Mr. Yahiko is right there as well with the BMI, taking the turret into the mid lane. Very good punish. So far, it feels like whenever Big Black Clock gets a good engage, they win. So Nepal are really leading on to that Big Clock energy coming in, as that's going to be the base turret taken down below. Now looking for more. Blazing Duet onto the back with no Minion Fury. Nothing is there to cancel it out. Execution forced to use that with nature right now. The Phantom Execution is used up to the back line as well. Now it's going to be split over onto Surge. Able to find a kill back.
See the damage that is given right here for Surge, and now the blue is being taken care of here with a Mortal Coil that is being popped by Mr. Ray. He really wants to take control of the game right here. It's 7-7 in the 14 minutes, but the hyper situation coming from the Bangladesh side here. You can see it. Oh my god, the penalty is not going for Mr. Ray, and damage for the execution. He's still trying to run away from this one, but Black Shoes being used right now from the Lilia.
Wow. brilliant fight there. Brilliant response as well, honestly, from Bangladesh. That could have been much worse for them had they continued to, again, give that position over to Nepal. Beautiful engages are the win condition from Nepal. It all relies on Masarap or Big Black Clock to look for those big CC initiations with the wild charge in the penalty zone. Meanwhile, for Bangladesh, they gotta play it a little bit smarter here. They gotta be reactive with their Minion Fury and with their built-in Purifies.
Oh, they really need to be careful. It's 3 base turret down coming from the side of Bangladesh with 8,000 gold lead by Nepal. They're taking all of the controls and they still want to get the second lord. Now, Bangladesh will be pushed, will be forced to join the war to try to pick off the player or maybe try to initiate towards lord, which is not a good sign because again, they are not in the prime position here since we know they are losing in terms of gap level and also the gold. So the item, I think like from the side of Cloud, it's almost like full item here from Yahiko itself. Look at that blaze being melted quite fast by the basic attack coming from the side of Cloud. We can imagine how much magic damage that can come out from this Lilia that is already using, I think like it's a SQ1 along with the glowing one so far from the Lilia.
No, you can already see Nepal utilizing the Lilia that you just mentioned to try to poke down the Lord. Blaze! Oh my goodness, that poke damage from Yahiko and from Xerox melts down the main frontliner of Bangladesh. Mr. Ray looking for the opening right now with a Mortal Coil. Surge with a split, but Mr. Big Black Clock with a wild charge and a blazing duet onto the back line, forcing execution to go for the win of nature. But in the base, there's Lunatic Panda who's simultaneously able to clear out the waves to bring it back under the base. Now Bangladesh pinned down, 4 members taken out. Nepal wants to end the game. 17 minutes in with 2 waves coming down. Mr. Ray, will he be able to pull off a miracle play with a lot of damage coming down onto him? It seems like it is not going to happen for Bangladesh. Game number 1 secured by Nepal.
Oh my god, we can see that how the movement that is coming from this Lancelot taking down the 1-1 solo in front of the base and taking it just like that. They're just like taking all of the controls here over the movement coming from Team Bangladesh. At first, Bangladesh was trying so hard to not reacting to every act that is being brought by Nepal. But the mirroring over the objective coming from the Nepal side is the one that make them have a lot of leads. Even despite Bangladesh was having a lead in terms of kills. It was 2-0 if I'm not mistaken in the early game that is led by Bangladesh, but Nepal was able to take control over the turret, over the turtle. All turtle, I bet, is being taken by the hand of Nepal here. It's just keep going on. The turtle, the turrets, and they keep trying to pick off the backliner of the Bangladesh. When they have like this kind of patience, they're just playing around with the patience coming from Bangladesh and taking the opportunity coming from that one.
Beautiful drafts from the start, just a few counter picks here and there, and a very good foundation to their draft with solid mid control, fella. That Lilia first pick turned out to be absolutely amazing. And what's strange is they didn't even need Purifies. You would think up against a Minotaur, you want to go for the Purify, right? We saw the Diggy banned out, so that's literally a big Purify, the time journey taken out of the board because of that concern. So with no Purify, they were able to still, basically play around the Minion Fury, wait and bait for it every single time to make this composition work in the end.
Yeah, I think like the initiation, the purpose having the glue and also Minotaur to actually like trying to pick up and also having a big CC towards Team Nepal is not really working. Like whenever the Minotaur is up here, whenever the Minotaur is there, like he's being poked hard, brutally, I might say, from the Lilia, from the Teresa, everyone coming from the side of Team Nepal, they're just like poking him down. That's why like picking over the Minotaur actually a very good idea. I do feel like the CC is actually pretty big. The heal's also gonna be helping. But aside of that one, you don't have any kind of initiation. You need to set up for a Minotaur. That's why usually whenever we see Minotaur, we have another kind of setup hero, Lapu Lapu perhaps, or another kind of hero that can help him out. Even Lolita, I think like Lolita Minotaur combo is actually going to be a very good one. But without that, actually it's pretty hard for Minotaur to be the one who opening up a setup, especially going for a hero like Cloud, like Terizla that can counter you back. You open the Minuan Fury, but there is a penalty zone from the Terizla. You cannot really following up the setup that is being made by Bangladesh. So actually, it's actually a good draft, but not in the good draft because of the opponent's draft. So yeah, I think like Bangladesh was not having the moment for this one, but we don't know what will happen into the second game and also the third game. Maybe if there is a third game, because so far, whatever we cast, it's always like clean win.
You're right. So far, it has always been just 2-0s, 3-0s all across the board. We haven't had a close series in, in the ISF so far in the Asian regional qualifier. So it's definitely going to be a breath of fresh air to see maybe an equalizer here from Bangladesh, because so far it does feel like on a skill level side, this is the closest game we've had. Both teams understand what they're doing and how they can actually just adjust mid-game to each other. With even though Bangladesh kind of faltered in the early game, they were able to make some proper adjustments to be the reactive team and let Nepal go for these engages, wait for those mistakes, wait for them to overcommit to punish them through. But overall, it does still seem like Nepal are the better proactive team. And if we look at the pattern, usually the proactive team ends up winning the series all around in a full clean sweep. We're going to take a look at the match summary, post-match summary here for game number 1 to take a deep dive as to what exactly happened. Was it the initiation? Was it a draft? Who has the best KDA right now? And we're also going to see the MVP later on.
Ooh, who is it gonna be? Because I think like everyone have their own portion for this one. Everyone have a really good initiation, but I was thinking